Alright, lining up third on the grid for the sprint race with Jos Everts in the Primera and Evan Pardy in the Mondeo ahead of me.
Get ready, going green.
The lights are about to come on, so we rev up our engine. And the lights are out, we get a really good launch off the line, instantly jumping Pardy, and we're already up to P2. Slotting in behind Jos Everts as we follow him through turn 1. But now as we come through turn 2, there's a huge crash behind, with almost the entire field getting caught up in it, and a full course yellow instantly comes out. However, this time, since it's a short sprint race, we will not be pitting, and so skipping straight to the race restart. The green flag falls way earlier than I expected, and that allows Evan Pardy to jump me off of the restart and instantly gain back the position as I go down to P3 now. Little bit of a tap as we come out of the final corner, and now slot in behind him, take up all of his slipstream, and going into turn 1, I'm going to try and look for a move down the inside. We're alongside at the apex, no contact. However, he still manages to keep the position. Jemson behind comes really close to my rear bumper. Coming out of the corner, I bump Evan in the back. A huge snap of oversteer. And now we're alongside with Jemson, going through the left kink. A little bit of a bump in the rear. However, he managed to keep the position. And we're now chasing down Evan Pardy. It's not over yet, as coming out of the corner, Jemson is right on our tail. Following closely in my slipstream. A move over to the right to cover it off the inside line. Right before braking, a move over to the left. Get on the brakes hard. However, Jemson understeers into the side of my car, giving me a little bit of side damage. However, coming out of the corner, I'm still ahead and I managed to successfully defend the position. And now I can actually focus on chasing Evan down. However, later in the lap, as I'm still chasing Evan down, a virtual safety car comes out. I take this opportunity to get a little closer to the back of Pardy and get a chance to get him off the restart. The countdown for the virtual safety car to end starts. I try to time it properly, but for some reason the green flag doesn't fall when the countdown ends, and so I slot back behind Evan to avoid a speeding penalty. But now, skipping to the actual restart of the race, I try to sit as close to the edge of the speed limit as I can to close in on Evan Pardy a little more. And as the countdown starts, we're right on Evan's rear bumper.
4, 3, 2, 1.
The green flag falls, but we both get a similar restart. Trying to look for a move down the inside, but I don't brake late enough, and I follow him through turns 1 and 2. Coming out of turn 2, getting really close to him, going through the left kink now. He pulls away a little bit. Entering the hairpin now, I'm still on him. Little bit of sliding coming out of the hairpin. Now I slot in behind him to get a slipstream, chasing him all the way down the straight. Coming into turn 5, I think about a move down the inside, but think better of it and back out. However, coming out of the corner, he goes wide and gets a big snap of oversteer, and that allows me to slowly gain on him. However, still not enough to get alongside him. And now going into the S's, braking, I get really close to him, so I have to back out in order to not take him out. And now chasing him all the way through the S's. It looks like I have a much better run through than him, as when we get to the straight, I start catching him very quickly. I'm coming down the hill now, still gaining on him. I look for a move down the inside. We both brake at the same time. I don't manage to get alongside. However, Jemson behind almost takes me out, narrowly avoiding me. Very lucky to get away from that one. But now I'm stuck chasing Pardy again. And now skip ahead to next lap, going through the S's, still chasing Pardy, get a really good run through. I'm gaining on him, and coming out of the S's, I get alongside him, and I pass him on the straight as we go down the hill now, already building up a massive gap to Pardy behind. And as we go into the corner, Evan closes into me once again, and after my car bottoms out massively mid-corner, I get an awful exit and we're once again alongside. However, I managed to squeeze him and force him to stay on the outside line, and going into the flat out S's, I just about managed to inch ahead. Evan still tries to chase me down. He gains on me a tiny bit, but is unable to challenge me for the position. And just like that, I finish the overtake and move up into P2. And from now until the end of the race, nothing major really happens. And we come across the line to finish right where we started, in second place, setting our starting position for the feature race. Here we go, lining up for the feature race in second place now, with only Jos Everts ahead of us. As the lights are about to come up, we rev up our engine once more. it's lights out and both me and Jos get a similar launch, same with Evan behind, and so far it's looking like a pretty average race start for us. We follow Jos through turns 1 and 2 and surprisingly there's no big accidents behind us. And honestly, from this point on, nothing major really happens in the race. I'm too slow to catch up to Jos and challenge him for the win, and I'm too fast for the guys behind to catch up and challenge me for my position. Up until lap 16 of 22, where this happens.
Virtual safety car is deployed.
The virtual safety car comes out, and that puts me in a tough situation. I've already done my pit stop, so has everyone else. But I have no idea what they plan to do now. There's still a good chunk of the race to go till the end, and I need to think about what the drivers behind me will do. Will they box for softs? If they do, I'll be a sitting duck with worn hard tires in the restart. So I decide to box for softs, thinking that everyone will do the same, and that it'll be a sprint to the end once we restart. But as I come into the pits, I notice that nobody else has come in, and that's a huge problem. As I come out of the pits, I'm now down to 6th place, but not all hope is lost. Because now I am the one with fresh softs against their old hards and mediums, so I'll have the advantage come the race restart. And now we fast forward. I prepare for the restart of the race, and as the green flag falls, I don't make the same mistake I did in the sprint race. I catch the driver ahead off guard and immediately get alongside him, going down the main straight now heading into turn 1. I outbrake him and instantly gain a position up into P5 now. 2 cars ahead of me fighting right now. I dive it down the inside of Auge. We're alongside, however Marshner absolutely parks it on the apex, end up bumping him in the back. And now I'm under pressure on Ruben behind. Slightly alongside to the left kink, but I managed to defend the position well. Auge and Marshner still fighting ahead. I tried to get alongside Auge again, but I can't. Coming out of the airpin, we all have a similar exit. Ruben and Vivona occupied behind me fighting, so I try to look for any opportunity, any gap that I can take in the fight ahead. As we go into turn 5, coming into the corner, I almost bump Augie in the back. Behind me, my teammate makes an incredible dive, gaining 2 places in 1. Marshner and Augie still alongside fighting. Going into the S's, I'm waiting for a gap to open up. Massive snap oversteer on entry. I give Augie a little tap, we're alongside, and then the virtual safety car comes out of nowhere, and from now on it's just chaos. I am as confused as I can possibly be. I want to slow down to the speed limit of the virtual safety car, however everyone ahead of me is still going full speed, and so I just have no idea what to do. I slow down to 80 kilometers an hour, but everyone ahead of me is just pulling away, going way over the speed limit, and I have no idea what's going on. Evan overtakes the entire train under safety car, and then a message on screen pops up. We're about to go green again. I still have no idea what's going on, and then the countdown for the restart comes up.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1.
I try to time the restart, but then it says 1 twice. What the hell is going on? And then after the 1 stays on screen for 20 seconds, the green flag falls out of nowhere, and on top of it all, I also get a speeding penalty. And then a couple seconds later, the green flag announcement comes up again. And at this point, I am so confused. I am absolutely pissed off. I am crashing out in the call with my teammate. I still have no idea what just happened, and I've just lost my chance to go back up to 2nd place. I am 15 seconds behind the closest driver. I just have no words. And so we come across the line to finish the race in 6th position. However, after the race, the positions were overturned after the absolute blunder by the FIA, and I end up finishing in 5th position. Not really any better in my opinion, since I still lost out on 2nd place and finished lower than what I started. And so after this round, we fall down to 2nd place in the standings with a 9-point gap to P1. On the bright side at least, my team leads the constructors by 3 points. Hopefully we can manage to pick up the pieces and come back stronger next weekend and get a good result. But for now, that's about it. See you in the next one.